Plenty to talk about today with severe tropical storm Bebinca. This is expected to become a typhoon as it approaches the southern Japanese islands heading into this weekend and after moving over Guam. Bringing some messy weather there. We're not seeing damage or anything like that being reported, but definitely some messy weather to start off the work week. And even as it pulls away, we still have that inflow wrapping it behind it. So as this moves towards the north, this is what's going to happen. It's moving away from Guam, still scattered showers there, looking at a possible typhoon into Okinawa, and then we continue to see the inflow on the back side of it. So kind of a three-pronged event taking place here before it eventually might even head off towards eastern areas of China. Now, taking a look at the circulation, yeah, we do have a little bit of dry air in the northern periphery kind of wrapping into it, but the big thing is all of this inflow pumping into it, allowing to gather that moisture as it moves into an area favorable for further intensification. And that's why, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency, you can see here on Saturday evening, it passes almost right over Okinawa Honto, that is in the southern Japanese islands, as a Category 1 about equivalent typhoon before moving off here towards the west, towards eastern areas of China around Shanghai. So broader picture, see what I'm talking about here as this kind of heads off here. And it really has that monsoonal gyre type look, but even that low-level center could tighten up just a bit. But look at the river of moisture, that inflow wrapping in like that, coming in from the west, scooting out like this, and this is why into Guam, into Cebu, into Manila, all the way back towards Vietnam. Going to continue to see this inflow. By the way, Vietnam, heart goes out for everybody. Over 170 deaths being reported now due to Typhoon Yagi. So they don't need any more rain now. That's in northern Vietnam, not to the south, but still. Meanwhile, though, we just looked this ahead Monday into Tuesday. You just kind of see this, and there's that potential of secondary storms kind of spinning up right in here, and we could have another tropical storm just continuing to enhance that Habagat or that monsoonal flow. So southwest monsoon Habagat outlook here all the way out. This is just through Saturday, but I think it's going to continue well into next week. Bebinca is going to continue to enhance that flow. Even if it doesn't enter the Philippine area of responsibility, we're still going to be looking at impacts. So you're not going to see like signal force warnings or anything like that. And then you just kind of see the 24-hour rainfall forecast just over the next 24 hours. Some areas in the west coast could see 200 millimeters all across Palawan, just due to this same setup, that inflow of moisture. So the west coast of the Philippines and really stretching all across Visayas, including Cebu, are going to be looking at just heavy rains and the potential for some pretty significant flooding here, all thanks to our storm system. So yeah, let's get back to the forecast here, kind of showing you the broader view of this river of moisture I'm talking about, because this really shows it to you. This is the wind flow, and you can kind of see where the gradient is. So here goes our storm passing over Okinawa, but you still have near tropical storm strength winds rolling across the West Philippine Sea, Palawan through Visayas and off towards the east into the Philippine Sea. And that's really kind of the catalyst for all that precip. Zooming in though, in Okinawa, here we go. Let's time this out for you by Saturday afternoon, heading into the evening. Passes right over Okinawa. This particular guidance from the ECMWF does show an eye wall passing over the island here. So you could be looking at typhoon strength winds, and it may be stronger than even stronger storms in the past, because the center circulation doesn't pass right over you. It was all about that right front quadrant, that inner eye wall. And if you get it, that's when you're talking about, winds that could humbly surprise you, or honestly surprise you. So make sure before the arrival of the storm, you know your information. Make sure you're following what's the local military saying. If you are military in Okinawa, prepare to evacuate if needed. Check in and prepare your emergency kits. Key thing, if you're there on that island, if they tell you to hunker down, just hunker down, wait it out, wait for the storm to pass. That's the best advice I could give you, especially on these smaller islands here. And just tie things down. Trampoline alert in place. We always joke about it, but those things like lawn furniture can really go flying and cause some damage. All right, looking ahead though, this is heading through Saturday. There goes our storm right over there. Yeah, ECMWF really wants to wrap this up, and I think it's very well possible. And then we're going to watch this poof off there just towards the south of Shanghai, north of Taiwan. And then we got to continue to watch secondary storms, as I mentioned, just spinning up in its wake. So potential for some typhoon strength gust, maybe at least T-core conditions for our friends in Okinawa. While down towards the south, as I mentioned, you got that inflow. You just see where this rainfall just wraps up. I think this is going to be the bigger story, not so much the center of the storm, but the persistency in that flood event across Palawan over towards Visayas and southwestern Luzon, just continuing to see the precip. So for our friends in Guam, excuse me, still got more rain. The storm's passed. Bebinca's gone, moving towards the north, but you still got that inflow, that tail that's just going to continue to kick around from the south. So unfortunately, you're going to see that. Still going to be seeing the big waves out here wrapping around. For our friends in Okinawa, waves kicking up here too as the storm starts to approach heading into the weekend. So just be careful if you're going to head out to the coast. For Okinawa, though, they have thunderstorms this weekend, Saturday over towards Sunday, and it could be looking at some fairly high winds as this pushes on by. So make sure you continue to check in with the local agencies, especially with the T-core. Cebu, looking at scattered showers Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think this will continue well into next week due to this river of moisture that's just going to continue to dominate. It ain't going anywhere. In Manila, too, it actually is going to lift north heading through the weekend and increasing showers gradually into Manila. And I think we're going to be seeing another urban flood threat there, too. So lots and lots to talk about. For anybody who wants to support this channel, got a couple new Patreon members here this past week. I can't thank you guys enough. If you want to continue to help out, if you like these updates, you're like, you know what, these are great. I wish you did more of these. Make sure to check out our Patreon, and I'll continue to try to do my best to keep you guys posted and informed on these tropical systems. But for now, I hope everybody stays safe out there. Going to continue to watch and monitor our severe tropical storm Bebinca, likely going to become a typhoon heading towards Okinawa with this pretty decent Habagat enhanced monsoonal threat continuing to linger in its wake. Stay safe out there.